It's a blessing to welcome on one of the top players in class of 2022. He's one of the top players in the grind session so far, Kamari Lands. How you doing, man?
Good, I'm good.
For sure. Well, let's just kind of get into this. You made a lot of big moves during the past year, and the biggest move now is you going out to Prolific Prep from Laudemere. Take us through this decision and why you chose Prolific Prep.
Um, it was just a good choice just for my where I want to put my game at. Just trying to be more in the guard position and play more fast pace because that's what the NBA is like, and just playing a lot of pick and roll. So I know that's what they do, and plus, like, who doesn't want to go to the West Coast? So
And this is a big place to kind of fill shoes from. It's a place that was going to go to Geico last year and won the grind session. They lost the majority of the team to seniors that are going out to different routes. You come in now, and this is kind of your team. It's a pretty young team. How are you guys getting chemistry so early on?
first, it was kind of a struggle just trying to because we got a lot of good players, so just trying to fit in with each other and all. Like just try to have our roles together. But I mean, now, I feel like we got way better. Just like being able to play games and just play with each other. So I definitely feel like it's gotten way better. But yeah, it's had ups and downs.
You guys are currently 6-1 so far. You did have another couple wins and losses in the border league, but out of the grind session, first real games, 6-1. Take us through some of those games and what your thoughts are from the first bubble session.
I feel like it was a good learning experience. Just like what we have to do better as a team and individually, just like how we got to play because like everybody's good in the grind session. So it's like it's no days off. You always got to have to play your best. So it was definitely a learning experience. Just like the offensively playing with each other, chemistry wise, and defensively playing as a unit. So yeah,
You guys might have one of the bigger teams in the entire country. You guys are able to start about two 7-footers. You're running shooting guard, and you're 6'8", 6'9". Everyone on this team has a lot of height, has a lot of size. How have you adjusted to that?
uh, well, it's definitely different playing, but it's like I feel like now I can play like my true position as a guard and not have to play like the 4 or the 5 or something like that. So I mean, it's definitely been like a good experience. It has been different because I played guard at AAU, but I was still like one of the bigger guys on the team. So being like to the point where I'll never touch the post or like never have to guard someone bigger than me is like different.
A couple years ago, being at your height, you would have ran the 4, you would have ran the 3, never touched the guard. Now you're running a guy that person I would trust. I know coaches trust you. Bring the ball up, run that 2 guard. What's like having the height advantage against other guys?
It's definitely a great advantage, and like you said, just that's where the game's going nowadays. Just being a big guard, being taller, being able to play on the perimeter, being able to defend little guards. So it's definitely like where the game's going. And I feel like I can succeed at that with the IQ I have and the shooting capabilities. So yeah,
Growing up, was that something your family pushed you to run more guard as opposed to playing down low, or how did you
definitely,
get the ball handling and become such a strong guard?
definitely just been even though I didn't know I was gonna be tall, but my parents knew like I had the genes to be tall. But
Mhm.
like even though I was gonna be tall, they never put me at like the 4 spot. They always wanted to put me at guard. So that's what I always grew up being.
Overall, when you look at last year's prolific prep team to this year, there's one big role that people want to know who can kind of fill, and that's Jalen Green, averaging near 30 a game. And there's been a lot of glimpses you've shown of you being able to do that. Now, you still have another year potentially to grow and become a senior guy, but you've shown glimpses of becoming an elite dominant scorer. How do you plan to kind of develop into that?
Definitely just I know being in this position and just keep having the confidence in order to do it because I feel like I have the skill. Of course, I'm going to keep developing my skill, my ball handling, my finishing, all that stuff. But just having the confidence to be that type of person to know like I can score and I can do what I need to do in order for us to win the team and be the leader.
There have been some moving pieces so far early on in the year. A new addition comes in low. Talk about him and what he's going to bring to the team.
I like he's a very quick guard, very like he has great vision, can pass, can get people in their spots. I definitely gonna bring that fast motion pace that we want to run with now. So definitely, and he's athletic, so he brings that to the table. Definitely, I feel like he's gonna be a good piece for us.
Now, before the season started, I didn't get to play with him, but Arterio was originally going out there, and then stuff happened. But If he was still part of your group, how much more special could you guys have been?
Well, he was definitely a great player. Like very athletic, very good scorer. Got a great mentality. He has that dog mentality. So he definitely would have helped us. He definitely would have been brought that dog in to us. So he's a really good player. He's gonna be great wherever he goes, even at home. So he's still gonna be there at the top with us.
How about Coach Phelps? He's the new coach out there. How's your guys' bond started to grow?
Yeah, Coach O's a great coach. I really respect him. I really like him as a coach, and he's a good guy. So definitely got a good bond with him.
No doubt. Well, I want to touch up a little bit in your sophomore year at Loudon Mir. You guys had an incredible season, 22-5. Would have been going to Geico if it wasn't canceled. And that team was a little shorthanded. You guys didn't have a lot of guys for the course of the year. What was that team like?
It was a great team. Definitely, we had good pieces with like Wendell and Jaden and Jeremy. So we were just and we were a very strong team because, like you said, we had our ups and downs, just being hurt and all that stuff. But we definitely would have came around and that guy fell.
Absolutely. Let's get into this recruiting process for you. Your guys kept it a little bit quieter compared to some guys, but we know you have some offers right now. Texas in the mix, Syracuse, Marquette, Georgetown, Xavier. Who's kind of in the running for you and who's showing the most interest at this point in time?
Um, I feel like they all show a lot of interest. Marquette definitely does, but yeah, I really have like no like list or like what's more important. My recruiting still open because I feel like there's a lot more offers to come. So I just been just like I really haven't been focused on recruiting like that, to be honest.
Now you do have some time till you really have to get focused into that. But when that time does come, is there some things that you're looking at that you'd want to see in a college that would maybe attract you to one when it comes time to decide?
Yeah, definitely just being able to play my game and just being able to do what I do and definitely put me in the position to become a guard for like a lead guard. And because that's what I want to do. So definitely that, yeah.
I know some guys have the big appeal of potentially teaming up with someone at the college level. Is that something you've looked into with anyone?
Not really. Just like wherever I go, I go.
And there are some programs, but if we talk about Texas Tech, they're one that has a lot of guys that are run your kind of position, a bigger guard. Guy like Jarrett Culver, they have Namari Burnett this upcoming year, Jemias Ramsey too. How appealing is it when you see a program and see what Coach Beer's been able to do with guys that are bigger guards and get them to the NBA?
Yeah, it's definitely significant because that's what I want to do. So yeah, definitely that big card is gonna be a key in where I go to college.
Now, Syracuse has been an interesting school. They were set up for a great recruiting class. Gil Johnson was originally there. With him gone now, that leaves up another guard spot. What's your thoughts on Syracuse, and what do you like about Coach Beiheim and Syracuse?
I like Syracuse. I definitely grew up a fan of them with like Michael Carter Williams, Carmelo, all them. So like definitely like I love their school, like the zone, just big guard mentality. So yeah.
How about location-wise? You mentioned obviously you like the West Coast right now. How's the weather? Is that going to factor in? Do you like schools on the West Coast side? Would you not mind going back East Coast? What
Yeah,
about that?
yeah, I don't mind wherever.
No doubt. Now, also with your family's had a lot of basketball experience with them. Both your cousins have played at the college level, and Jalen and Isaiah. What's it been like growing up in a family of basketball?
It's just all basketball, to be honest. I mean, we just focus on basketball education in this family. So just everybody's just always just trying to make you better, always trying to keep you on your toes.
Have you guys had any games growing up together?
Yeah.
How does games usually go?
I was always like I'm the youngest out of most of us, so
Hmm.
I've always been on the losing end. But I mean, nowadays it's different because we're all older. So, but yeah, back in the day, yeah, but it made me better. So I just always just get bullied.
How have they given you advice, and what advice have they necessarily given you now as you go through your recruiting process and just advice in terms of just playing basketball?
Just they always just tell me just to get better, and just like you definitely will be humbled. Like they never let you like hype your head up. So I mean, they always just like try to critique your game and just keep you like forward, keep you improving.
In terms of Team USA, you obviously hasn't been shut down for the past year now, but you've been able to go to 2 mini camps before. What was that environment like?
It's definitely different. It's like college. Like it was just a lot. just working, just always in the gym, always just focused on basketball. It's like college basically.
That first invite you got, take us through your reaction.
Uh, I was a little surprised, but I mean I was just blessed that it happened. I was just ready to go, to be honest.
And you get out there and you're going up against guys that are 1, 2, 3 years older than you. What did you learn from some of the guys, and who are some guys in particular that you really watched and kind of helped you create a relationship with?
I watch people like Jalen and just like those type, just like guards that I just seen that like top in the country, and I just seen like they just got the confidence, like they don't care who they're playing, they're just gonna play their game.
You're most likely going to get an invite back whenever this USA stuff gets going again. How do you look to be able to grow, and what do you think you're able to do this next time you go out there?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna go out there with a different mentality, just be more confident, and definitely just make an impact more than I did last time.
And in part of 2022, I think it's one of the better classes we've seen now. They're a loaded class, but you're one of the guys I think that can be at a 5-star type of guy. You're one of the best players, in my opinion. But where do you see yourself rank up in 2022?
I definitely think I'm a top 5 player, so I definitely got a lot to prove, and I just gonna keep working until I get what I deserve. But honestly, I don't feel like rankings like I mean they matter, but at the same time they don't. So it's like I'm just honestly just ready to get to the next level and just keep going from there.
Being from Indiana, it's a state that's been on the rise, known as a basketball place, and there's a lot of talent in the past couple classes. What was it like being a part of that?
It's definitely just glad I can rep my home state, and yeah, Indiana's definitely a basketball state. So yeah, it's a great feeling to be part of it.
Who are some of your favorite guys to go up against out there in Indiana?
It's a lot. There's a lot of people like just growing up with all of them. It's like the city basically. Like it's a lot of people, to be honest.
No doubt. Well, a few more things before I let you go. One is we know you guys are still in the grind session. You guys have some more bubbles, hopefully, to come up in the future. Who are the teams that you guys want to target to go up against again?
I definitely want to see AZ Compass.
And that game was a big one for you guys. You guys lost the first one, but both you guys are probably the two best teams in the grind session.
Thanks.
How do you guys match up in that, and how excited are you for the next game?
I definitely feel like we're gonna come better, come more prepared, and just be more like not as nervous, be more confident in each other. So yeah.
One guy on the other end of the court was Ty Washington. I know when you have two different guys that are both elite players, you guys like going at each other. I know you picked him up a few times. Is that something we could see more of? Do you expect to possibly go up against Ty more often next game?
Definitely.
No doubt. Well, I was like wrapping discussing legacy. I think that's something that all guys want to do. So when you are done playing basketball someday, what do you ultimately want to be remembered for what you achieved both on and off the court?
Well, I want to remember off the court just like a great all-around guy, like a LeBron type of person, just always positive. And on the court, of course, I want to be remembered as one of just the best players ever played a game.
You do have GUA in your bio. What does that mean?
Greatness up ahead.
And you got a long future ahead of you. Who are some guys you kind of model game after think you might play like?
That's a good question. Kind of like a Buddy Hield or like yeah, that's a good question. I like Buddy Hield's game a lot. So
Absolutely, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on today and keep doing your thing, man.
appreciate it.
Well, Charles, welcome on, man. God bless.
Yeah, you too.